Ideal, Nursing Academy, Ignited, Dynamic, Enjoyable Academy for Learning. Welcome to Achievers Academy.
Hi everyone, gaining knowledge is the first step to wisdom. I am Hemlata. In this video, I am going to talk about anatomy and physiology of female reproductive system. The reproductive organs in female are those which are concerned with copulation, fertilization, growth and development of the fetus and its subsequent exit to the outer world. So there are three functions mainly done by the reproductive organs. They are first one is copulation, that means to engage in sexual intercourse, and second is fertilization. It is the process of action involving the fusion of male and female gametes to form a zygote. Gametes means it is a female or male germ cells. Then growth and development of the fetus and its subsequent exit to the outer world. So these are all the three functions. They are copulation, fertilization, and third is growth and development of the fetus and its subsequent exit to the outer world. The organs are mainly divided into three: external genitalia, internal genitalia, accessory reproductive organs. Okay, so first is external, second is internal, and next is accessory reproductive organs. So first we will study about external genitalia detailedly. This external genitalia also called as vulva or pudentum. The other names of external genitalia are vulva or pudentum. The vulva or pudentum includes all the visible external genital organs in the perineum. Vulva consists of many parts. We will study that one by one. Majora, and then labia minora, then hymen, then clitoris, then vestibule, then urethra, Skene's gland and Bartholin glands. So these are all the parts of the external genitalia or vulva. So it is therefore bounded anteriorly by mons pubis, posteriorly by rectum, laterally by genitocrural fold. Anteriorly by mons pubis, posteriorly by rectum, laterally by genitocrural fold. So genitocrural folds are the folds which are situated between the thigh and the external genital organs. The vulvar area covered by a keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. This can be remembered as a mnemonic KESSE. K-E-S-S-E. K-E stands for keratinized, S stands for stratified, and again S stands for squamous and E stands for epithelium. So the vulvar area is covered by keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Now first we will study about the first part of the vulva, that is mons veneris. It is a pad of subcutaneous adipose connective tissue lying in front of the pubis, and in the adult female it is covered by hair. So in this you have to remember mainly 3 points. First is it is a pad of sac. Sac means subcutaneous adipose connective tissue. Second, it is lying in front of the pubis and it is covered by a hair in an adult female. And next is labia majora. So labia majora, it is the second most part of the vulva. The vulva is bounded on each side by the elevation of the skin and subcutaneous tissue which forms the labia majora. They are continuous posteriorly and fuse medially. The fusion is called as posterior commissure. The labia majora has outer skin surface and inner skin surface. Outer skin surface is convex, pigmented and covered with hair follicles, whereas inner surface it is thin and has sebaceous glands but no hair follicles. The labia majora are covered with a squamous epithelium and contain sweat glands. Beneath the skin there is dense connective tissue and adipose tissue. This adipose tissue is richly supplied with venous plexus which may produce hematoma if it is injured during the time of childbirth. That's all about labia majora. And coming to labia minora, there are two thin folds of skin on either side just within the labia majora. Anteriorly, they divide to enclose the clitoris and unite with each other in front and behind the clitoris to form a prepuce and frenulum. So anteriorly it will be divided at front and back of the clitoris. At front it is called as prepuce, at back of the clitoris it is called as frenulum. Then the lower portion of the labia minora fuses across the midline to form a fold of skin, it is known as fourchette. Whereas in the labia majora we have studied the posterior fusion, it is called as posterior commissure, but in the labia minora the posterior fusion of the skin fold is called as fourchette. The labia minora contains hair follicles or sweat glands. The folds contains connective tissues, numerous sebaceous glands, erectile muscle fibers, vessels and nerve endings. That's all about labia minora. Now we will study about the another part, clitoris. It is a small cylindrical erectile body measuring about 1.5 to 2 cm. It is situated in the most anterior part of the vulva. It consists of mainly 3 parts: glans, a body and true crura. The glans is covered by squamous epithelium and is richly supplied with nerves. Now it is the time for break. I'll tell you a joke. One of the teachers asked in the class, "Can you define who is lecturer?" A student stood up and said, "A lecturer is a person who has a very bad habit of speaking when someone is sleeping." So don't be sleepy now. Let's continue. Next part is vestibule. It is a triangular space bounded anteriorly by the clitoris, posteriorly by fourchette and on either side by labia minora. So vestibule is a triangular part. Anteriorly it is covered by clitoris, posteriorly by fourchette and on either side by labia minora. There are 4 openings in the vestibule. First is urethral opening. The urethral opening, it is situated midline just in front of the vaginal orifice. So, okay, it is situated midline just in front of the vaginal orifice. And the next opening is vaginal orifice and hymen. The vaginal orifice lies in the posterior ends of the vestibule. It is incompletely closed or covered by a septum of mucous membrane. It is called as hymen. The hymen is usually ruptured at the time of consummation of marriage. During childbirth, the hymen is extremely lacerated and it is represented by cicatrized nodule of varying in size. It is called as carunculae mitriforms. On both the sides, it is lined by stratified squamous epithelium. And the third opening in the vestibule is Bartholin ducts. These are true Bartholin glands, also called as greater vestibular glands. They present on each side of the vaginal orifice. They are pea-sized and yellowish white in color. During sexual excitement, it secretes abundant alkaline mucus which helps in lubrication. In front of the Bartholin gland, there is a vestibular bulb. These are bilateral elongated masses of erectile tissues situated beneath the mucous membrane of the vestibule. And fourth opening is Skene's glands. They are the largest paraurethral glands. The 2 Skene's ducts may open in the vestibule on either side of the external urethral meatus. These are all the openings of the vestibule. So we have studied mainly 4 openings or orifices in the vestibule. First one is urethral opening and second is vaginal orifice and third is Bartholin glands and fourth is Skene glands. In this you should know one thing, the bilateral glands which are situated on either side of the vaginal orifice and the paraurethral glands, they are Skene's glands which are situated on either side of the urethral opening. Now we will study about the blood supply. So first arterial supply, it is by the branches of internal pudendal arteries and branches of femoral artery. Okay, so 2 arteries. First is the branches of internal pudendal artery and second is branches of femoral artery. Next, venous drainage. It is through internal pudendal vein and next is vesical or vaginal venous plexus and long saphenous vein. Nerve supply. The nerve supply is through bilateral spinal somatic nerves. First, anterior superior part is supplied with ilioinguinal and genital branch of genitofemoral nerve. The posterior inferior part is by the pudendal branches from the posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Okay, so anterior posterior part is by ilioinguinal and genital branch of genitofemoral nerve. Posterior inferior part is by pudendal branches from the posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh. Between these 2 groups, the vulva is supplied by the labial and perineal branches of the pudendal nerve. Labial and perineal branches of the pudendal nerve supplies between these 2 groups. Then lymphatic drainage. Vulval lymphatics have bilateral drainage. Lymphatics drain into superficial inguinal nodes, intermediate groups of inguinal lymph nodes, external and internal iliac lymph nodes. Okay, so superficial, intermediate, and last is external and internal iliac lymph nodes. That's all about the lymphatics drainage. Now I'll tell you which all the structures of female external genital organs are homologous to the male. First, labia majora. Labia majora are homologous to the scrotum in male reproductive organ. Labia minora are homologous to the penile urethra and parts of the skin of penis in male. Clitoris is homologous to the penis in the male. Bartholin glands are homologous to the bulb of penis. Skene's glands are homologous to the prostate in the male. In this video, we have learnt about external female reproductive system, parts and its blood supply, nerve supply and lymphatic drainage. Next video, we will continue with internal reproductive organs. Till then, signing off, Hemlata.